Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Greater Manchester Stories. This episode's great guest is a gentleman called John Lawrence, who I met a few months ago at an event where we were all discussing child sexual exploitation. So, first of all, welcome John Lawrence to the show.
Thank you, Nick. Thanks very much, mate.
Thank you for coming on. So, let's jump straight into it. You've told me you're going to be standing as a councillor at the next council elections in Oldham, which is the 2nd of May, I believe. Why are you standing? What's driving you to stand?
Well, what's driving me to stand, Nick, is that our councils don't do the job that they're supposed to. They're inadequate. There's plenty of bankrupt councils. And if we look at what's going on now in other countries, they care more about the rest of the world than they do about the working class in the UK. We don't get nothing. Our industry's been sold off, and we had some great industry, steel, coal, stuff. All that's been sold off for whatever. We don't have nothing, and they don't do anything for us. And I mean, a big thing is things like political correctness and stuff like that. And my issues have been going on in Oldham since late 90s. It's not just recently, this is late 90s. Oldham has a history of political correctness and biasness and racial tensions and division. And if we look at things like the Ritchie report in 2001, they blame it on the council and the council's lack of dealing with these issues, which I've pulled to many. I've talked to MPs about it. I've talked to Andy Burnham, said you don't deal with the issues when they come. And I'm just so disappointed with our councils and everything. That's why I've got involved.
Yeah, it sounds like you're fed up. It sounds like you can't take this any longer, and it sounds like you're standing up because it seems, or you feel, no one else is standing up and no one else is doing anything about the problems in Oldham.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and you talked about wokeness there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you look like a mixed race man to me.
I am, yeah, half Jamaican.
Yeah, so even you, as a mixed race man, is saying this wokeness has to stop and has gone too far and is damaging society.
Definitely. All sections of society and everyone's affected. It's not particularly like a white person that's affected. Everyone's affected with it. I'm affected with it. Black people in London are affected with it and stuff like that. And knowing how you went on, how you got counselled. A black woman who was working for a particular council in London, she put up a statement about believing in the family, and she got dismissed off her council for it. And she didn't say anything wrong, and that's going on all over the country, and it's killing us. It's killing our country.
And it all started when they started attacking the family 60, 70, 80 years ago. And I've not heard about that woman, but as a woman, if you can't stand up for family without losing your job, I mean, that says it there. That's how far we've fallen in the UK.
Yeah, I mean, our party, we do believe in family. That's one of the things we believe in. Christianity as well, to bring communities together. I'm not a practicing Christian, but I got brought up in with a Church of England background. I went to Sunday school. I went to the Boys Brigade, so nobody can say that I haven't, been to church or sung the hymns and stuff like that. But we believe in it, and the family. It's the biggest thing that's under attack. Once they attack our family and break the family up, it's easy to target individual people within the family, kids, the mums and dads. It's easy to target them, and we need that family connection and them family values bringing back.
Yeah, you mentioned then that you're standing as part of a party. What is that party? And tell me a little bit about it.
National Housing Party, United Kingdom. We're fully registered in the UK. We've already run elections in the Wirral, London, South Gloucester, Oldham, and we're looking at running in Leicester next elections. And yeah, and disappointing with a lot of the other parties, but we need to break up our electoral system with either independents or small hyperlocal political parties. And in Oldham, it's shown that can have a good effect on the political standing. Labour in the past 5 years have lost like 10 seats.
Mm. I don't know. Obviously, I know a little bit about Oldham because I'm standing, and obviously I've been to Oldham many times, as well as other places in Greater Manchester. Would I be right in saying, because I say this all the time now, would I be right in saying that Oldham Council is probably the most corrupt in Greater Manchester?
Um, yeah, yeah, it is. And I mean, people always go on about corruptness, but this is, in the old days, a council was made up of individuals within the community, maybe a shopkeeper, maybe somebody who worked in the care system or was a governor of a schools. This is the council. Now it's not like that. Council made up of box ticking and not the right kind of people within the council who know skills. I mean, what skills have I got? I've been born in Oldham, bred in Oldham, and I've trained people. I've trained people in procedures, and some of our council procedures, social services procedures, that they're not fit for purpose, Nick. So, you know, maybe I can have an effect in that section of training people up. That's what I've done most of my adult life. So, but yeah, it is corrupt. Like I said, though, it's not so much people, when they say corrupt, they think that gangsters run the council. Now, there is some gangsters in the council, but the wrong kind of people are in the council who run it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because the leader of the council a few years ago, someone firebombed her car. I believe her partner was a criminal alongside the gentleman who killed two Greater Manchester police officers, Dale Cregan. Just the optics of Oldham Council screams to me just horrendous corruption. And it might not be backhanders and brown envelopes, but it just isn't what you expect a council to look like.
Yeah, and you know the worst thing is it for me, Nick. This is just so blindingly obvious to everyone is that nobody says nothing about when it's like a root shark, Irish image. No one says anything about that. It's been in the papers, but if I was to have a picture took with an ex-gangster or someone who'd committed a serious crime, I would be smeared all over the national papers, and that's what I fight against. Me that political correctness. That's what I fight against. My biggest issue with anything in the country today is political correctness.
Right. And what seat will you be looking at standing in?
The Hollingwood seat in Oldham.
Hollingwood seat. Right. So people who are watching this, if you live in Hollingwood, here's a gentleman you need to check out and seriously consider voting for. Now, a couple of months ago, we met at an event talking about child sexual exploitation. Can you tell me a little bit about that? How did you get involved in fighting for those girls and boys who have been abused and been let down massively?
Oh, well, funny you should say that. 2009, I'm living in Bradford for 5 years. My dad passed away 2006, and I wanted a few years away, and I were in Bradford. I met somebody, and cut a long story short, is my first Christmas was with this family in Bradford, and then a couple of years later, I met up with him again, and he split up with his wife, and she'd gone living in South Yorkshire, somewhere near Sheffield, and they had evidence on a phone and an address and some car evidence that her daughter was being groomed. Now, she never got raped or anything, but she was in the process of getting gifts, being taught, you know, like that. There's a way they do it. And one weekend on a Saturday, four of us went up, and we weren't all white. There was two white lads and me, and then another black lad. We all went up, and we spent 4 hours at the police station. Then they threatened to arrest us and charge us with breach of the peace if we didn't go. So we left, and from then on, I've been active within it. The cause. I see the corruption in the police and the councils covering it all up. There's no accountability, Nick, anywhere. Not within. There's no accountability in the police. No accountability in the councils. And I'm sorry to say this, but there's no accountability from the minority community that's done a lot of this. The Pakistani community in Rotherham, in Oldham, they've done nothing. They've done nothing. They've not been held to account. There's people on Oldham Council who shouldn't have seats because they knew what Big Daddy from the Rochdale. They knew all his past history, his life, and they let him work within the council. So
Yeah, this is horrendous. And we keep hearing these stories. It's been going on decades now. The abuse has been going on for 40 years, but these stories keep coming out every year for the last 15 years. And they're still happening. And we're still getting more court cases, and it's still happening today. And you're right about the community who seem to be doing a lot of this. Not one of those men have been punished by their own community. And what I'll say to that community is these men are destroying your reputation. You're all being tarred with the same brush because of a small percentage of men that you're not holding accountable, that you're not punishing socially, who live in the same houses, who go to the same mosques, and you're being quiet and and you're being tarred with this brush. You need to speak out more. You need to do more, because these are our children, your children, our children. And if we don't look after all our children, then God help us for the future.
And Nick, I don't like, even though I've mentioned a certain section of the community, nobody can say that I don't give it the police. The Oldham Mayor's question time, I turned around and said the police are sex offenders and gangsters. That's what I said to him, Nick, and I meant it, so nobody can say that I'm just one issue person. I've spoke to members of parliament. I remember Andy Burnham. I talked to him about political correctness. Councillors in Oldham. That's how I talk, and I don't pick on one section. It's a variety of issues we have. We've got issues with the police, the council, and that certain section of the community. It's not all blamed on one person. So
yeah, no, completely agree. So for people who are interested in what you've got to say, how can people contact you? How can people find out more about you and your party?
Well, you can look up National Housing Party United Kingdom. We have a website. And what we are looking for is people to stand up within the community. More people are standing up to be councillors and to be taken into account than any time in the past. And anyone can run. If you've got social skills, or you're a governor of a school, or you do something within the community, you're more than qualified to be on the council. And so we want people to stand up. I want a candidate in every ward in Oldham. That's what I want, 20 candidates. So National Housing Party, United Kingdom, we have a website online. You can easily find us. You can find us on social media, NHP UK, or National Housing Party, United Kingdom. But yeah, that's it.
And how can people, are you on social media personally?
I certainly am. My YouTube channel is NHP UK TV. John Lawrence on Facebook, and again we have various National Housing Party groups and that across Facebook. I mean, as soon as you find a link, my number's there as well, my phone number. So and I don't mind people phoning me up. My email address is john.lawrence@nationalhousingparty.uk.
And I'll put all these details in the description of the video, so save you having to Google and search. You can find all John's details in the description. Thank you, John, for coming on. It's been great talking to you. I'll see you again at some of the events we'll be doing. And for the people watching, if you're interested, stand. Even if you stand as independent or join John's party, we need more decent people standing and representing their community. Because at the moment, we keep leaving it to career politicians, and that's why we're in the mess we're in today.
Yeah.
Cheers, John, and have a good weekend.
Thank you very much, Nick. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Bye-bye. If you like that video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell and comment. And if you like what I'm saying about running for Mayor of Greater Manchester, then stick around. Tell your family, tell your friends. The only way I'm going to have a chance of winning is a grassroots movement. So be part of that movement and hit that bell. Thanks.